morning, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for having me, and I'll be sharing about Children's Paradise Montessori School. I'll share my screen now. Okay, so um, I am so glad that I am here to share about the school and maybe my experience also of my EBE course, because it was part, or it has been part of our journey as a school as well. Actually, I would like to share with you, briefly about the school, and I'll share with you a video just to make it faster, to share with you the story very briefly, just 3 minutes of video. Somehow how we started and where we are now. So let me do that again, just to be sure that the sound is there. Okay, here it goes.
Children's Paradise Montessori School has always been an inclusive Montessori school. It is a school that opens its doors to children with needs and provide equal opportunities among children. We hope that this will continue to be a home for every child, not only a home, but a paradise for every child. We started with 13 children, and we started with children of friends, children of relatives, of our friends, and it has grown to whatever we have now, whatever it is that we have now. We have almost 200 students already from preschool, actually from toddler to grade 6. We started with only preschool. We expanded our programs to toddler, then eventually to lower elementary, which is grades 1 to 3. Then we expanded to grades 4 to 6, which is upper elementary. And in support with these levels or these programs, we also provided student services to our children. These are services that would support the children's needs in the classroom. So we have our own therapist, we have our own intervention program that is integrated in the curriculum. We have also partnered with other institutions to be able to provide whatever it is that our children need. Children's Paradise Montessori School is an authentic Montessori school where we have kept the integrity of the Montessori education that Dr. Maria Montessori started more than 100 years ago. We owe it to the children, we owe it to the society to provide this kind of education, an alternative way of allowing children to discover themselves, to explore their environment, and to be the best that they can be. We involve parents, other professionals, to create this environment which is safe and which is nurturing for the children. We support children. We provide opportunities for children to shine, to build their confidence, and to capitalize on their strengths, to capitalize on their talents, because that is the only way for them to be great contributors to our society.
So I hope, I'm not so sure if my, thank you very much, if my signal or bandwidth is good enough, but I'll do whatever I can. Thank you very much. That is, you might be wondering, that was taken pre-COVID, and we just wanted to share that, and we would also want you to know what we've been doing, even during this time, during the pandemic. Anyway, thank you very much for that. And just to further share with you what the school is all about, this is our purpose. Our purpose is that we love and value children. purpose is really the reason for our existence. So Children's Paradise Montessori School exists because we love and value children. And these are our core values. And by the way, we had our revisioning. We revisited our vision, mission statements when in 2019. In 2019, just before the pandemic. Uh, and it was in January 2020 that we launched this. So nothing happens by coincidence. I always believe that this was meant to happen in 2020 to launch this to the world. And our new vision now is that CPMS, Children's Paradise Montessori School, is the leading nature smart, values and strengths-based Montessori school in Southeast Asia. This is just the second time that this is the first time, by the way, to revisit and actually create a new vision for the school. That was last year, and we have been doing whatever it takes for us to fulfill this vision. And again, I think in the video I also shared that that is how true we are to the Montessori education, because Montessori as an approach in education is very holistic, and it has been tested over the years, over decades and more than a century. So this is one quotation that I'd like to share with you, because this has really been our guiding light in whatever we do in Children's Paradise Montessori School. Dr. Maria Montessori said, if help and salvation are to come, they can only come from the children, for the children are the makers of men. Just reflecting on my own personal journey, I can really say, and research would say, that we are who we are. The way we are right now, the way we think, the way we feel, our personalities can be rooted back to the first 6 to 8 years of our lives. And that is why children are the makers of men. We were made to be who we are when we were yet children. And one thing that I really appreciate about the Montessori education is this view of education. She said, if we truly consider education to be the development of latent possibilities rather than using the word education, we should adapt another one, which is cultivation. The educator must cultivate the potentialities existing in the child so they may develop and expand. The nature of this educational work begins to take shape. It consists in cultivating the immense potential of the individual in order that his hidden energies may develop wholesomely. So somehow, this is how we would like to see education. It is really about this that is so natural already in every child, in every person, just waiting to unfold or waiting to come out, to be developed. And what does it take for that to come out or to be unleashed? It needs nurturing. It needs an environment. So just imagine this seed. Just imagine this seed. Imagine the seed with so much potentialities, a potential to become a fruit-bearing tree, a potential to become, to even have a farm out coming from that just one seed. That potential of this seed even becoming a forest. So in that seed, there's so much potential already, just the same as a child. And as we nurture the seed, it needs this kind of environment, rich soil, water, sunlight. We also have to provide that in order for this seed, to really grow healthy and bear much fruit. I can liken a child also to a butterfly. And this is really much about the philosophy of Montessori, and I'm just so passionate about sharing it with you. The child goes through different phases of development, different planes of development. And in every plane, The child has different needs. And that is why if you want to cultivate, if you want to nurture, we have to consider the needs of the child in every stage of development. Just like this caterpillar that becomes a butterfly, an adult butterfly. This caterpillar and this butterfly, they are just one, basically. But the needs of a caterpillar is not the same as the needs of a butterfly. You can never say, fly, caterpillar, fly. No, of course not, right? So expectations. To a butterfly, we have to feed the butterfly with the nectar, the flowers, not with leaves, right? So as I share that with you, just an analogy with children. As children grow from being an infant to a toddler to being in school age and even a teenager, they are the same one child, but they have different needs, and so we have to really be mindful of their needs. Montessori has been very child-centered, and I just want to emphasize on that. This is another thing that is really advocated by the Montessori education. Education is really there to aid life, leaving it free. However, that is the basic task of the educator and the education itself. The greatest development is achieved during the first years of life. Again, the children are the makers of men. That is why it is very wise for us to really put so much, attention, energy, and nurturance during the first years of life. And she is actually saying, or pertaining to the first 6 years. And therefore, it is then that the greatest care should be taken. If this is done, then the child does not become a burden. He will reveal himself as the greatest marvel of nature. Putting that just to be in that context, that is how we have been through the years, through 16 years, we've really been operating. And when, with also being mindful and relevant by responding to, issues that affect us, affect the world, that was the reason why we were also inspired and drawn to revisit our vision and to be nature smart, to be values, strengths based, all of that. It was just a vision. Of course, it was a shared vision among ourselves in the school. However, it's a vision, but sometimes you don't know how to get there. It was through EDE. The EDE course was just, the answer to a lot of questions that I and my team had. And so EDE with its framework has now given us like a pathway, like a framework to really fulfill our vision. And Thaisa, I hope you don't mind. I took screenshots of your first session with us in the EDE, and talking about the EDE principles and the areas where we are working on, the school is working on. I'd like just to share this and encircle or highlight those areas. So for culture, the school has been really, as I shared with you, we really took time to ask ourselves, are we still, was our first original vision relevant or not? And so that has been answered, and we changed it, we launched it, and now we are really, really doing everything that we can to fulfill that. Nurture mindfulness and self-reflection. We've been doing that actually with, been doing biodanza, expressive arts therapy, dance therapy. We've been doing a lot of, especially as we promote well-being in school. Arts definitely is really part of the way we nurture our children, because it is really the language of the soul. And reconnecting with nature, giving them opportunities, as well as our employees and later, the videos will show more about it. I'll just highlight again, not much to talk about it, but really sharing with you if this is like an inventory. These are the areas where we have worked on, started on, and these are the areas where I'd like to share with you. For whole system thinking, these are also the areas where we have been doing something. It doesn't mean that we're, the extent that we've done, it might be just a start yet, and some of it we've really been so mature in doing something in those areas. But what we're saying is that we have made this as a guide in developing our programs. Okay. Now, there was a question about what are our current challenges. Definitely, these are just some capturing, major challenges right now. Well-being is really one major thing that it's like it's really a balancing act, for employees, for parents, and even for our children. Financial sustainability is another one. When COVID hit us, our population dropped by 40%, and we're still here, thriving, surviving, and thriving. However, we need to be innovative, be more creative, and agile in our approach. Well, there is this thing that is really haunting us right now, haunting us because we don't know the chances, but political, economic uncertainties are there. The rapid changes in the market, this digitalization, and all of these really affecting us, and climate emergency. Well, our response is that we will continue what we're doing. We know that we are meant to be here for a purpose. We will trailblaze in creating a better next of education as we are guided by the EDE principles and areas for regeneration. I think if there is one thing that I have been anchoring myself to, and the whole school, it's really about community collaboration. This has really helped us, cross. This has really helped us get through a lot of challenges. So if there's one big answer to how we are facing challenges, it is really community collaboration. And that's how I see the role of community to us, and our role as a school is really to create and build community to also support the people who are not only dependent on us, but who are part of us in our school. There is this thing there is this quotation and poster that I got. There will come a time when only those who know how to plant will be eating. And true enough, in our, even if we have transitioned to online, we continued with our vision. We continued with all our efforts to really immerse our children into nature, and of course to somehow teach them how to plant their food. Allow me now to share a video, and this is just well, I hope you'll be inspired. I mean, I won't preempt anything, but it is something about collaboration. This is about, we are about to start this. We launched this program. We call it Grow It Yourself. Do it yourself. We call it Grow It Yourself. So when the lockdown happened, of course, it was so hard to access food. It was so hard. It was just so hard. And we partnered with an NGO who did this. So the video that I'll be sharing with you is a video of the NGO that initiated this program. And what I'm saying is that we are now partnering with this NGO to expand this program, the Grow It Yourself community pantry program to our school, to our employees, eventually to our parents, to the families, and eventually to their communities.